Yeah, so this one is 13.
Okay.
Lucky number 13. Alright. I was, I was about to say, it doesn't even matter. I never say number 13 anyway. It's not like
Yeah, you don't ever name what it is.
Hello and welcome to the Modcast. I'm here with Zenrot,
Hello.
Penta,
Hey,
and me. And that's it for today. So, I'll let Zenrot take over.
Small roster, 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So, as always, we'll start on the global side of things. Beerus has been out for a little while. People kind of have gotten their hands on him. And now they finally released the Great Apes, the Ozaru banner.
They did.
What is everyone's thoughts on that?
I actually think it's really funny how in Japan there was this big pomp and circumstance. Like, get ready, Golden Week, apes coming, you're gonna get your mind blown. And then they came out and they were bad, and Global was like, they did the right thing, and they were like, here's apes.
We need some filler before LR Goku and Super Vegito. Here's Apes.
Yes, they were at least honest with us in that they were just filler. There was nothing really to be excited about.
Yeah, Japan built them up like this. Oh my god, it's this new mechanic. The whole world's gonna go crazy. It's gonna be the best.
They
And
dedicated,
they suck so bad.
yeah, they dedicated all of Golden Week to just hyping them up.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, they didn't even release the best. That they don't even become slightly viable till Ape Turtles comes out, and that guaranteed SSR banner comes with them. So
I
this,
mean, you can use a full ape team, and it's actually surprisingly decent.
yes, but
As far as like a sub, what would you even call it? Like a sub archetype team. Like everyone wants to use Boo or Frieza, and I think apes
yeah,
are better than Boos and Friezas.
yeah,
But
that's
that's
fair.
pretty much it, and they're not better than any actually well-built team in this game. So
Yeah, that's accurate. But
also getting a full ape team is hard as shit because there's like 9 of them.
yeah, and you might get dupes. I've only ever been able to pull Raditz. It's the only ape I have.
I've read it's 5 times over from those guaranteed SSR banners.
It's not good. All I want is Kid Goku. I actually had an alt that got the Kid Goku, and I was just angry, and I stopped playing the alt.
I have him. You mean the physical one?
Yeah, he's not good, but
No, he's awful, but I have him.
he's the one of the few DB SSR that are in a pullable uh,
Oh,
system.
that's true. Because the other one, the good Kid Goku, is in the World Tournament banner, right?
Yeah, and good
Yeah.
luck ever getting him. I actually got a dupe of the STR one, which made me kind of angry last
Me
week.
too. Me too. I got him the day that the new one released.
Uh,
I got a Super Saiyan 3 ticket pull, and it was the STR one. I was so angry.
it's a bad feeling. So yeah, I guess for global people who don't know, the ape mechanic is similar to the kind of Beerus rage mechanic, except for it has a chance. It randomly activates, and it has a chance to last longer than a one turn. It could, in theory, last at least three. Is how long as the longest I think I've ever gotten it.
3 sounds about as good as I've ever done, too.
Yeah.
It usually doesn't last that long, either.
No, it doesn't. But you are at least invulnerable to attacks during that time. But when you are ape, the kind of thing that makes me angry is that you lose all link skills at all, because technically you're just linking with yourself.
Yeah, when you become an ape, your entire 3 turns are all the same character. It's whoever's the ape, which means you have no links, which means you start at 6 key. And unlike Beerus, the apes don't always super. You have to get them to 12 to super. Otherwise, they just do normal hits.
Yeah. So you have to get pretty lucky with your orb placement, or you'd have to have been thinking about orb placement the entire game.
Basically, yeah. Which nobody does that for apes. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not.
At least you get a free ape, though.
Yeah, Nappa's an alright ape. In
I
terms,
guess. Yeah, I mean, he's stronger than Raditz in ape mode. He has
yeah,
like, I think it's 35,000, doesn't
yeah, he has a low chance of going ape though.
he? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing we should probably say. All the apes have different chances of becoming apes. and they're all low. Like, well, not all low. Nappa is specifically called low chance, but I swear to God, you can run 20 stages with Raditz or Vegeta and not see them go ape.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I've had it before where I think I've had both Raditz and Nappa activate on Popo training, but never on actual fights that matter.
On actual content.
Yeah, just like they just decide like I'm really pissed at Popo right now, and he they need to go ape right now.
God, I wish there was more to talk about with this because it's a new game mechanic, but it's so bad and so marginally useful that you can't really talk about it.
Yeah, there's really nothing for right
I mean,
now.
you're immune to damage when you're an ape, but the other like all the ape cards are so bad, it's not worth trying to fit them into an actual team to take advantage of that when they go ape the one time they're able to go ape.
Yeah, and especially with even with mono leads coming out, they don't really have a place there either. Except
Nope,
for
it's just
again,
Turles.
except for Turles, constant 2 weeks in a row now. The only exception is Turles
Bandai's best friend.
and ours.
So that kind of brings us back to the same thing we've been harping on in Global for a while. Super Vegito has to be coming, right?
I mean, the only thing that gives me slight hesitation is they did release Full Power Frieza a bit early in Global before doing Gogeta.
The thing with that is that Full Power Frieza after Gogeta kind of felt like a step backward when he came out in Japan.
Yeah,
So
it
that's
did.
kind of a reasonable progression. But if you do that with Super Vegito, you're releasing Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks first.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I guess
There's
there
not
is
anybody after him to really do that with.
no, because you can't do Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken because he kind of requires a bit of Super Vegito to really see the full potential of him. Not to say
Right.
that he's not a bad unit, because he's not. He's got an amazing set of link skills and powerful attack, but his banner had Super Vegito in it, and it feels kind of weird to release the demigod before the actual god.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess there's nothing stopping them from doing Gotenks first and just releasing the gods out of order if they want to. But I feel like Super
Completely
Vegito
true.
and Broly was meant to be like an introductory banner to the new leader skills to like give
Yeah.
you a good chance to get one.
Yeah, I don't see how there's really no filler they can do. Like, yeah, there's just the fusions is maybe the only thing that comes to mind, but that's
Yeah,
about it.
I guess. And the heroes banner.
Yeah,
But like,
but they can't do super.
yeah, well they could, but no one's gonna pull on it
Yeah, yeah.
because we all know the truth about Hit.
He's the world's strongest duo on Earth. I don't know
That's
what's
true. Strongest duo on Earth. They really need. Have they taken that out of the game yet?
no,
It's still strongest duo on Earth. They haven't made it Veteran War here yet.
no, not yet. Not until they are forced to.
That's
Which is,
embarrassing.
well, Peacock is still in the game, and he's still one of the strongest duos on Earth. So who knows?
God,
I they,
that's so bad.
I really do wish they keep the name of that when they release Hit and he comes out.
So Hit and Pycon can be the strongest duo on Earth.
Yes. I've actually slowly been trying to see if I can make the strongest duo on Earth a 6-man team. And I think I'm like 1 unit off from actually being able to do it.
It is possible.
It is possible. There's now enough of them out there because Future Gohan is also one of the strongest duos on Earth. So,
Yeah, you can have what? One of the myriad of Goku and Piccolo, which is how the link got its name.
yeah.
Hit, Pycon, Future Gohan. I think there's other ones.
There might be other ones. They're just like but it's like Goku's with different names, I think.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. But really, there's LR Goku maybe. Like Super Vegito has to be super soon. there's no way they can really hold back on it.
The thing with LR Goku is that you can't really use him as filler because he doesn't have a banner that goes with him. So they'd have to put out a bunch of like crappy type banners for like weeks.
That's true, and that just kind of kills morale a bit.
Yeah, no one wants to deal with that, you know?
Having to recently deal with that in Japan for a while. For
Yeah,
what?
it hurts.
It hurts. Yeah. Hopefully Super Vegito soon, so that so Global can go into that weird ass rush of content that we had to deal with.
Okay, I actually looked up strongest duo on Earth. It's a bunch of different base form Gokus. Base form Future Gohan. Nail.
That's right. Nail does
Yeah,
have
Nail
it.
is in it. Yep. Various Piccolos. The Spirit Bomb Goku, the Big Ass Hope Spirit Bomb.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Super Pycon. Future Super Saiyan Future Gohan and Hit. So there's about 6, I think, or 7 actually.
All right. So if for
Because
whatever,
I think Super Pycon doesn't count as Pycon. I think you can use them both.
yes, you can. The one with the Kami gear on.
Yeah, with the Kai clothes.
Yes. So, in theory, you could make this team, and everyone has a nail. That's just
Yeah.
like he's not.
Well, the only nail that has it is the SR one from Full Power Frieza event. It's the only one.
Yeah, that's the only. Well, that's not true. I was about to say I have like 6 different nails, but I have that nail.
Yeah, he's not a difficult one to get.
No. Man, I'm gonna look into this. If I ever make my full strongest duo on Earth team, I'll take on every single banner, Dokkan Fest with this team.
Strongest sextuplets on Earth.
Strongest sextuplets on Earth until I win at least one. I'm guaranteed to at least beat one Dokkan Fest. Like Cell, I could beat probably with that team.
You could probably beat Cell, probably Boo.
Yeah.
Maybe Super Saiyan 3 Goku if you get Future Gohan rolling early.
Yeah. Luckily enough for us, he did get a rebirth. So it should help a bit.
Yeah. It makes me wonder how they're going to do those rebirths in Global. Because that's coming up too. Or at least when they first started getting released was.
Yeah, and there's no, like, no excuse.
Well, obviously they're not going to redo the vote.
Yeah. No, that would be funny. It's like...
If they let Global vote on their own.
Oh my god, if Global got their own votes, they're like, Japan messed up, but this is your chance to fix it. And then, like, Global wouldn't... If they didn't vote for the ones Japan got, then they just would never get them. So there'd be like this alternate history where like Majub finally got his rebirth because Global would definitely, for laughs, vote for Majub to get a rebirth.
That's true. For the memes.
Yes, that's the difference between. If you want to know the difference between Global and Japan, is that Global will gladly do something for a joke, where Japan will not.
That's true. That's true.
So, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of weird things that they're gonna have to introduce that, like, similar to the 8 banner, there was this whole setup for, and now Global has to release them, but with none of that kind of like weird build up for it.
And they released them out of order because Global for some reason goes out of order. But that means that the most recent SSRs that Global got are not in the 8 banner. Like you can't get Intelligent Super Saiyan God out of the 8 banner.
Really? That's really weird, but I guess that's kind of the price they get for fucking up with the order of the banners.
Well, you think if you were going to fuck up the order of the banners, you would at least take the extra 5 minutes to edit what's in it.
You'd think so. I mean, they update the World Tournament. They could update the other banners.
But instead, they just copy it and stick it out. So any banner that they release late doesn't have the previous stuff in it.
Yeah. Plus that, like, this is again sort of related. Now that they're finally getting the crossover, they upgraded that SR into an SSR.
Yeah.
So.
The SSR dead Goku.
Yeah, peace out, guys, Goku.
Yeah. Which doesn't mean anything for him because he still sucks, but it means a lot for LR Goku farming.
Yes, it does.
Get that SA to to 20 as fast as you can.
I'll give this to Global. They certainly have given you plenty of warning to, hey, like, get a bunch of these Gokus. They
Yeah, really?
they threw out that extremely terrible World Tournament Goku at you at a rate that goes like, there's no reason for you to use these, except for, maybe something in the future that will require you to level up these Gokus. I don't know. Just spitball in here. So.
Yeah, now you have the Bye Guys Goku, who's just another one that you can use to get high rate.
Yeah.
What am I saying? High rate super attack raises.
Yeah, even through. If you awaken them, it's at 100%, and if you don't, it's 50, right? Is that how it usually goes? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, only for SSRs and URs. There's different numbers for each. It's kind of annoying to explain it actually. Each like primary rarity, which is the one you're fusing into, has a different rate when it comes to ones that are being fused into it. Like an awakened SSR is not a 100% chance on an SR, I don't think.
You're right. That is weird.
Yeah, I think only awakened URs are 100% when being fused in, unless you're fusing into a TUR, in which case it's not.
What a weird ass system.
Yeah, it's strange. Also, by the way, when you get LR Goku and you get him to LR after 9 years of grinding that shitty fight over and over again, do not expect to raise his super attack level with Super Saiyan Goku cards, because you get, I believe, a TUR Super Saiyan Goku. The only one that exists for a while will be the Rebirth one, not the starter one, but the other one, the shitty one.
Yes.
He's a 2% chance when going into LR Goku.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yes.
That's terrible.
Yes. It's abysmal.
Well, the good thing is you should just like get another one of those. Like spend the 3 years it takes to get another SSR LR Goku to drop, and then get
That's
those
true.
777 medals again.
Yeah, I just went the old Kai route, but that's just me.
That's the smarter way to go. But if you're gonna want to do the eventual dupe system that's coming to Japan,
it's actually a good time to switch over to Japan, I think.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, but
that transition into
that was actually, yeah. Not to cut you off, but I don't think we need to go on another rant about how LR Goku is the shittiest event ever.
Yeah, it's well documented. So
Japan's finally getting the long heralded dupe system that every other mobile game already has, but for some reason we have to wait to get in an update.
I mean, that's just following the DBZ way. Like, we had to fight without that for like 30 episodes, and now we have a new form coming out.
That's true.
Boom.
We're powering up.
Yeah, we were.
They haven't revealed how it's going to work yet, but they showed. I mean, there was a sizable stat boost to that card they showed in the magazine. It was like 5,000, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, and that was to like the shitty Super Saiyan Goku that we were talking about.
Yeah, he had like something like 7,000, and he was at 12,000 attack afterward. That's a lot.
It's a sizable good boost.
And they said that apparently you're going to be able to do most of them. Like, for those of you that have played Final Fantasy X, think the skill grid thing. Sphere grid, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's the spear grid.
The sphere grid, yeah. Think about that. Because they said it's going to work like a skill tree, or similar to the Crystarium in Final Fantasy 13 also. Or any other RPG that has this, because it's not a very uncommon thing.
Any Japanese role-playing game which has a weird skill tree looking thing, this is following in the same suit.
Apparently you're going to be able to get individual orbs, so I guess the sphere grid makes the most sense, because it's actually spheres that you're getting. And each one will raise certain stats. So you'll be able to unlock the nodes for each stats as you move up the tree. But then certain sections of the tree will be blocked off and required to be opened by a fused dupe.
Yeah.
So it's similar to, like, again, the sphere grid, how it had locked sections you couldn't get unless you had a key sphere. Consider your dupes your key spheres, and otherwise you're able to get to these places almost without them. So people who are worried about, like, oh no, I'm not a a pay-to-play player, I'll never pull another copy of Super Vegito, you know? That's only going to limit a little bit, I think. Because it seems like you can still get all the stats, for the most part, even without fusing dupes.
Yeah, it sounds like the dupes are mainly there to give you that second passive, it sounds like. We
I don't know if it's going to be a second passive or it's going to modify the current ones or what it is. I don't know. They haven't really told us enough.
Yeah, we don't know enough. All we know is what Koala was able to translate for us. And to be fair, it all came from a magazine, so we'll just have to wait and see what those other passives are, because they didn't say anything about them.
It would be pretty cool, I think, if they only modified the passive we already had, but they made it better. Like if Super Saiyan 3 Goku's dupes made it like, now it lasts 9 turns, now it lasts 11 turns, now it lasts 15 turns or whatever.
That would be nice. Super Vegito now counters twice. Now he counters 3 times. 4 times.
Okay, so it doesn't work for everyone, but
No.
for some people it works.
It does. Obviously for Super Vegito, I think they would probably have to do like, I could see maybe it just gives him a slight boost to attack, like maybe very small 10%, because again, you don't really need much to make Super Vegito better. So
Yeah, maybe his counters just become more powerful or something like that.
Yeah, so just small increments of power. I could see them going like, this is balanced. But when did they ever care about balance? So
Yeah, they don't. Remember when we talked about this a lot too, but remember when they did not awaken the physical Super Saiyan Gotenks because they claimed it would be power creep if they did?
yeah,
2 weeks after they released Super Vegito for the first time?
that's actually one of the passives on if you get a dupe Super Saiyan Gotenks that just says power creep, and it allows him to go beyond 77% in his super attack.
Also, yeah, I like how he would be too powerful at 77% of a super attack, and then in the event that came out while Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks was still going, we got a card that was 100% on a super attack.
It's crazy. I still like to think that, I think we floated this theory, is that they only care about balance to the physical units. And they let everyone else go crazy, but for some reason they just go like physical, like no, we have to keep it balanced. So they don't have a defense unit, but they're all powerful.
That was another good segue, Wookie. Well done.
I know. King of segments.
Let's talk about Goku Black. He just came out.
Penta, what do you feel about Goku Black?
He's just a worse Buhan.
It's not what I wanted to hear.
Literally. His gimmick is the exact same thing as Buhan. His passive is a weaker version of Buhan's. His leader skill is a weaker version of Buhan's, but for physical.
This is true.
So
it's just a weaker version of fucking Buhan.
Pretty much, yeah. They did a nuke test with him on the Bandai's official Twitter, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, the Twitter account that always tweets the little video previews.
Yeah.
Wow, he did 2 million only.
I mean, it still kills the guy, but yeah, it's not.
It still kills the guy, yeah, but didn't Buhan do 24 million?
I mean, yeah, that's actually the really sad thing, is that
Yeah.
it's like, it's tough when it's a current villain that's currently going on in the current like anime, and in your mind you go, Black should obviously be much stronger than Buhan, so it doesn't make sense for Black to do so less than fucking Buhan.
I mean,
Go ahead.
honestly, the whole fucking event is just cashing in on the super hype.
Pretty much, almost. That's entirely all it's for. Let's talk about the banner for a little bit. Let's talk about shady business tactics for a little bit. Okay. So, Black event came out. The only new card in this Dokkan Fest banner is Goku Black, and the only card that Dokkan awakens from this banner and this entire event is Goku Black. So this is one of, like, it depends on if you count Gogeta and Janemba as only having one card. I kind of don't because they came out at the same time, but it's up to you.
Yeah.
Other than, I believe, the original Broly, which makes sense because he was the first one.
Yeah.
Full Power Frieza, and debatably Gogeta and Janemba if you count them. Those are the only ones to ever have only one card Dokkan Awaken.
And to be fair to Full Power Frieza, they did at least give us a free Final Form Frieza. In the
that you could farm to a UR.
Yeah. And Gogeta gave us Fat Viku.
And Broly gave us Broly.
Yeah, it gave us physical Broly.
And Janemba's
both of their banners
let us get some items, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it was good items.
To be fair, yeah.
And his fight's super easy, so it was viable to farm it.
Oh, so good.
But then even those cards that only had one card Dokkan Awaken to a TUR still had new cards in their banners. Broly had the Family Trio. Yeah. Frieza had the Rage Goku. And the Nail, but fucking who gives a shit about Nail?
Hey, strongest duo on Earth.
And then Gogeta, I think, had Pikkon and the new the AGL Gohan.
Yes.
And Janemba had Super Saiyan Physical Gotenks, the card so powerful that making it any better would break the game.
Yeah, just too much potential in that card.
Goku Black has nothing.
It's just himself. I
mean, okay.
I was gonna say, was Golden Frieza technically the same?
Frieza only had himself, but he Dokkan Awakened the Int and the AGL forms of himself also.
You're right, that's fair enough. I was gonna say that demigods, they're a little bit weird, because Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken came out with Chubby Beerus, Champa.
Champa, yeah.
King Champa. Golden Frieza was just himself, but at least he had like two other people, and he's like he has no weakness, so there's that. Then Black comes out, and he comes out with clearly weaknesses, and you're like, just doesn't make any sense. The demigods, and we call them demigods just because they're like mini god leads. But it's just weird for one to come out and just feel like there was very little effort put into them.
Well, here's my theory on that. And I'm probably completely wrong because I'm trying to have faith in Bandai, which is never good.
Yeah, that's terrible, but go ahead.
I feel like they're putting so much work into all these new systems that are... I mean, if you've seen the new dupe system and the new World Tournament system, it's going to be a completely different game.
Yeah, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. So it kind of makes me like hopeful that they're putting so much effort into this because they don't want to screw it up, that they are just releasing a guaranteed we will get money for this no matter what banner, so they don't have to put time into it.
Yeah, I could see that definitely being like a thing that happens, because as much as we like to just think of like it's like, oh, it's a company that spits out this stuff that we play with, there are actual devs behind it. There's legitimate people there that have to actually make these decisions, and a lot of the times the business end and the person end does not always like meet up. I would like to think there's someone in that team who's like, what we're doing right now is kind of shitty, but if we want to put more effort into something that will potentially reinvigorate the game for some people, like, these are the choices that we have to make, and it's not the greatest of choices, but it's the choices we're making.
Yeah, that's my hope. My hope is that they made the conscious decision to apply that dev time to something else, something better, to bring the game forward. I mean, I still think they could have gone a pretty easy route and just said, because everyone's talking about, oh, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, when are we going to get Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta? They could have just put him in this.
I mean, they could have. I still think the funniest thing ever was when everyone was expecting Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and it was black. It was
Goku Black.
I was like, you guys did the funniest fucking joke I've ever seen.
Well, that's...
Hey. At least Goku Black needs Vegeta to nuke.
It's true.
That's true. Not that
So
you're
there's-
duping with him anyway, because he does significantly less damage than even the Spirit Bomb Goku one would think.
So in Black taking Super Saiyan Blue's Vegeta's place, he has taken over the role of Shafted.
That's true.
He took one for Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. So
So maybe now
there's-
Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta will be good? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying, like, yes, there's now hope. Where, like, you were going, like, oh no, he's gonna somehow get shafted and not be the better of all of them. At least now there's hope that he's at least different from Black.
That's true.
There's hope where there was none before. And I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely still going to get him at some point. We have to, because they're not going to only Dokkan a couple of the nuke leaders and leave the other ones at 30%. Obviously, they're not going to do that.
Yeah, they're not. That's gonna happen eventually.
I mean, I think there's pretty obvious events that they're going to use too. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta will just be Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, even Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken was technically just Super Saiyan Blue Goku.
Yeah, it's true. They kept the same name.
Golden Frieza is the same thing. He's not a new form either. So I don't know why people are stressing over, well, Goku had Kaioken and Vegeta doesn't have that. They can't do Vegeta. Like, yes, they can. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, they'll just keep the same name. That
Yeah.
actually just kind of shows how much respect they have for the Kaioken, where they're just like, no, it's just Goku.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, even
Well, I think part of that is that if you used him and the non-Kaioken one on the same team, it would be ludicrously powerful. So,
I mean, they literally stopped an essence of potential superpower creep. This is probably one of the few chances where it wasn't physical, and they decided, like, no, we're not going to give him a different name.
no, we're not going to let this happen.
No.
And then the only two that people are thinking like, well, it can't possibly be a Dokkan event one would be Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku and Super Baby Vegeta 2. But I feel like Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku, both the AGL and the STR one, will just Dokkan whenever Super Saiyan 4 Goku comes.
Yeah, that's my thinking. And you could also do the same, technically, for Baby Vegeta for Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, isn't it? I mean, I didn't watch a lot of GT, but from what my very limited understanding is that they're technically kind of related.
Well, they're both Vegeta, so that's a start.
I forget.
Sort of. Like, Bulma uses the same machine on Vegeta to make him a Super Saiyan 4 that she used on Baby to make him a big monkey.
There you go. So we get Big
So
Monkey
it-
Man.
Yeah.
And then, actually, I really like the idea of them making just like the first ever ape card that's just a card. Giant golden ass ape Vegeta.
I don't know. It would be kind of cool if they had a Dokkan Fest that was Super Baby Vegeta 2 that ape mechanicked into Golden Great Ape.
Alright, fair enough. But I also just
That
like
would be
the
kinda
idea
neat.
of a standalone card that is just a giant ape.
That's just an ape.
It's just a big ass ape. Because now we finally have the technology to put giant ass people in our teams. Just
Speaking
put,
of, when are we getting that friggin' fat Janemba?
I mean, it's only
Never.
when we get that rebirth for another Janembas. I don't know. We should be getting the fat one though. I'm gonna guess they have to release another normal Janemba that will have the Dokkan, right?
You'd think. And in other cards that aren't released yet, when the hell is Lord Slug coming out?
Never.
I mean,
It's feeling like never.
they're waiting to get the Pantera license, so that so they can get all the music used in the dub version of Lord Slug, so that when you play the fight, there's just nothing but metal music playing throughout it. That's what's taking so long.
That makes sense. The Pantera won't sign the papers.
Yeah, they're just like, no. How do we know that you're doing justice to Lord Slug like we did?
Lord Slug is a big part of our band's history.
We put him on stage. We have this giant inflatable Lord Slug. We respect the man. I mean,
Oh,
he has
God.
to come eventually. They have the.
Well, he's been in the game for like 8 months.
I always assumed it was.
Xenoverse 2 banner. Xenoverse 2
Oh
banner.
yeah, that actually probably will be it.
The thing is that I assumed that they were waiting for whenever they would add the giant Namekians, because that's what Lord Slug did. But they have giant Namekian Teenage Piccolo.
Yep.
In the DB thing, so I really don't know what's holding them off other than the event isn't finished.
Now that Penta says it, I feel like it actually probably will be his Universe 2 banner.
They get another Turles.
Probably.
I mean, yeah, chances are.
Like Bandai has qualms with another freaking Turles. They'll put any Turles out. He'll be the second counter unit after Super Vegito. Will be fucking Turles.
I would kind of except for his has a chance to stun.
His has a chance to stun, and he blocks super attacks too.
Yeah, he'll be our new god.
It'll be the Rainbow God lead.
Yeah,
probably.
But it's crazy that Lord Slug is like he's in the game. There's no denying that he's inside the game, and yet Bandai is like, you know what the people need? Ariel, and they're right. They're right.
Yeah, Lord Slug has been in the game since the Hero Extermination event first came out, which was a very long time ago.
Very long. That was, but when he first came out, we were like, oh, I guess Lord Slug is coming, and then it's been the longest he's like the longest running joke of when is Lord Slug coming.
Yeah, when are we getting a card? And then they announced the new event for the 100 million download celebration, and once again, it is not Lord Slug. It is Dr. Slump.
Which out of the 10 people that were like, yeah, that was me, because I was like, yeah, Dr. Slump cards.
Yeah, everyone else was like, what the fuck? And Wilkie's like, yeah! All right.
Like, when I saw that there were 3 different versions that also all Dokkan, I was like, I can't believe that they're putting this much into RL but just for me. But I thank them. And it's not even just her, it seems like. It seems like they're literally putting in, like, her little robot friend and, like, one other...
the little Superman knockoff is going to be in it.
Yeah, he's going to be in it, and then the... I forget his name, but it's, like, the robot version of her. It's like her...
And then there's also going to be Kid Goku's in it as well, I think.
Yeah, Kid Goku with an Ariel hat, which, you know, I'll gladly take.
Yeah.
Now let them...
And some of them are free, but there's actually a gacha banner, too.
Yes, it is insane!
Which, like, how good are you going to have to make her to make people spend money to try to pull a rail?
I mean, how... So, it's... If you want to talk about how we do power creep, Ariel is a super fucking powerful android. I like, legitimately, like, you put in your gods, I don't know how you balance her. She's like, she's like crazy powerful. So I'm interested to see what they mess with her, because that was probably one of my favorite moments in Dragon Ball when she shows up, and she's just like so more powerful than anything that's like Goku's dealing with.
Oh yeah, didn't him and General Blue end up there, and Goku couldn't beat him, and she shows up and just punks the shit out of him, like really fast.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, hello there. She like smacks him, and she's like,
yeah, she beats the shit out of General Blue.
That was fun. Now let's go. And she does the same thing to Tao. Like, Tao shows up and is like, get out of my way, little girl. She's like, oh man, you wanna play fight? Let's go. Let's suplex. Let's wrestle. And then she beats the shit out of him. So, yeah, I guess is this the celebration for 100 million downloads? Has that been confirmed?
Yes.
Okay. I really
100
hope...
million is fucking Arale.
I really hope...
Like, whose idea was that, really?
Me? There's like a Japanese version of me on the team that is just like... say like, no, we should definitely put this in. I think we should give
secretly Wokie's been at home every night writing letters to Bandai.
I am the Bandai secret spy. This is what we get revealed. The only thing now that I need is that fucking Fireman Goku, and I will 100% be just like satisfied with this game. Just call it Game of the Year as far as I'm concerned.
I was a little suspicious of you when B-Pan came out.
That was maybe the greatest, like, oh, what cards do you want added? And you guys were actually asking for some legitimate cards, and I was just like, B-Pan! And then B-Pan is released like a couple days later. But, yeah, these kind of banners are so weird because, like, not a lot of people probably want Dr. Slump. Like, there's a reason why Dragon Ball Z is the thing that people know Akira Toriyama from. It's not usually Dr. Slump. People usually don't want the manga which has poo on a stick.
Which is an item you can get in this event, by the way.
Which is amazing! They put... the poo on a stick is a card! And apparently it's going to be like similar to the Bulma panties, but that's beside the point. It's just... occasionally the devs of this game just do really like crazy fan service stuff to like the weird history of Dragon Ball that I'm just like, and this is such a small little history because again she only shows up really in Dragon Ball and I think barely in Z. From what I remember, she might have like a small cameo in Z.
She shows up like for 10 seconds in Super.
Yeah, like Penguin Village exists in Dragon Ball. She just like is doing her own things while Goku's fighting gods because she doesn't care. But it's really cool for me, and it sounds like this is also a story event. Is that what
it is? Actually.
So she's like coming, and I'm glad that they brought her back with like something that's a story related because now people can just farm story and get some stones, and they can not complain because you know what, Ariel just fucking fed you some stones.
Just the savior of Dokkan Battle.
So take your fucking stones, take your free Ariel, and be fucking happy that there's a card in the game that is wearing a cat costume. And let me have this.
But like...
let me have it!
I just don't understand what they think the demographic they're appealing to is other than the wokey demographic.
I don't know.
Because like... not to be shitty.
No, go ahead.
But I think the majority, not to you, I don't mean to you.
Yeah.
I'm fine that you like Arale, I do too. But I think the majority demographic of this game is like 14 to 17.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Like angry, like that was so badass when Goku screamed and shit exploded and then he punched him in the face and fucking died.
And Krillin got blown up.
Krillin got fucking exploded, but that's okay because he's weak and weak people die. And like that's the demographic that they're appealing to here. like all I'm saying is there's a reason it's called Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle and not Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle.
Yes, that's
because they're appealing specifically to the people who like what Z is. And despite most like Western people not fully realizing this, Z is super totally different than most of the other shows.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball really never gets as dark as Z does, except for like King Piccolo.
Yeah, and during that King Piccolo arc, it is pretty dark when you have to put like fucking Master Roshi, Krillin, and Chiaotzu inside tiny caskets.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of a funny joke because of how small that Chiaotzu casket is. But that's really sad.
Yeah, no, King Piccolo arc was definitely dark, for sure.
Yeah, especially
but then, like...
Yeah, go ahead.
But, like, okay, so the King Piccolo arc was super dark. People die, Krillin dies, Roshi dies, Chiaotzu dies, Tien almost dies.
Dragon Ball's dies.
And then Goku saves them, yeah, the dragon dies, but then they find Kami and they bring the dragon back, and it's great.
Yeah.
And then the Saiyan Saga, which is, like, the throwaway, like, hey, this is Dragon Ball Z now. Fucking the very beginning, a child gets kidnapped, and then Goku gets fucking murdered trying to save his son.
He gets a hole in his stomach.
He gets a giant hole blast through his chest by Piccolo, who to this point is still vaguely evil. Like, you don't know.
I mean,
Piccolo then double kidnaps Goku's son. Like, after they saved him, he just kidnaps him again. And then he, like, brutally beats him in the wilderness just for Vegeta and Nappa to arrive and fucking kill everybody.
And then
then Goku shows up, and then they execute Nappa, and then Goku is like a meat sack of shattered bones on the ground. Ape Vegeta literally jumps and steps on his human-sized legs.
That's right. And there's also the great ending to that is like, this is like everyone's tired. Krillin is just gonna stab Vegeta in the fucking head at this point.
Yeah, he's just following him with Yajirobe's sword.
And he's like, I'm gonna stab you with this sword until you are dead, Vegeta. And then Vegeta's slowly crawling away. And then the only reason it doesn't happen is because Goku goes, nah, son, let him go.
Yeah, let him go. I want to fight him again. And they're like, alright, fine.
Fine, whatever.
And then the second arc of Dragon Ball Z literally opens with a race of beings being genocide. It's just genocide. It's the whole Frieza. Actually, it's 2 because it tells you how the Saiyans got the genocide, the Frieza genocide, and then he's doing it to the Nameks too.
Actually, you know what? After Frieza, every arc has a genocide.
And
No, except for Cell.
not just the
Androids
fucking
do.
genocide.
Well,
Cell,
the androids do if you count the future.
Okay, yeah, that's
Cell
true.
is fucking drinking people.
He is drinking people.
Yeah,
Not
he's
just killing
stabbing
them,
a-
he's drinking them.
He's stabbing a giant needle into them and drinking them.
He eats 2 androids, 2 people to power him up like a Duracell battery. And Boo was played for laughs, but don't forget that Boo turned someone into milk and fed to a child.
Yeah, Boo might actually be like the darkest one when you really sit down and think about all the shit that's happening.
Like, some of the shit Boo did, and like his jokey response of like, "Oh no, I can't eat anymore." This man has a bloodlust that is he would turn the world into a candy, and he would eat the
Boo's
candy.
Boo's house that is a stage in Xenoverse 2 that the Majin race hangs out at is made of fucking people. He turned people into clay and made his house out of them. And that's just a video game level that you just go hang out at. It's a house made of dead people.
So maybe Ariel is a weird fit. Oh.
Yeah, it's just like in the demographic of people who Arale or Ariel or however I don't know how you pronounce her name.
Yeah, it's fair enough. It's like Cornell, you just kind of say it.
You just say it and hope it happens, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the demographic that she appeals to is going to be the people that spend a lot of time in the Dragon Ball side of the lore.
Yeah.
Back when Goku was a kid. Back when there was a lot of comic relief like that. Like, you will never see anything in Dragon Ball Z like Mercenary Tao and General Blue, who were these, like, holy shit, they destroyed Goku, getting punked by a little girl in a hat in Dragon Ball Z.
Well, you don't know. Super could end with, like,
Yeah. They know it's basically a little girl in a hat.
Well, Super is different from Z too. Super is much more lighthearted than Z was.
Yeah, fair enough. So there's a chance for Ariel to show up at the end and just, like, punk out that villain.
It would not surprise me at all if whatever next joke arc there is, because Goku Black is like the serious arc, so they're not going to do anything like that for this.
No, fair enough.
But whatever the next jokey enemy is, it would not surprise me at all if Baby Pan kicks the shit out of him, and that's how the arc ends. It would be 0% surprising if Baby Pan is in some way. I mean, for shit's sake, Monaka was the savior of 2 different arcs.
So yeah, there is a lot more lightheartedness. Yeah, I wish I knew. I want to say that when they decided to make her this big event thing, they were banking on enough people to go like, oh, I remember this one. But they also made it a story event to cover their ass and go like legitimately like, hey, even if you don't care about them, here's some stones. Like this kind.
Yeah, and there's free ones too.
Yeah. So it kind of has enough for everyone, and I want to say this is, besides the Ape Kid Goku, this is the only instance where Dragon Ball characters have had their own gacha. That are not World Tournament
yeah,
exclusive.
the not independent of the World Tournament. Yeah, you're right.
And for someone who really likes Dragon Ball, this is actually really big for me. Because it always felt like Dragon Ball was kind of like in the World Tournament ghetto. Like, if you like Dragon Ball, here you go. Here's some tickets. These kind, and it's gotten a bit weird. Thankfully enough, like it turned out that a lot of those Dragon Ball units were like low key actually really good. Like General Blue is real good, and Murasaki until his recent death was really good. And there's a couple others that I thought about him that they're at least decent for Super Strikes. Launch does enough power. She's a key lead and all that stuff, but
That Bulma is good if you have Broly. You need to support Broly.
that's true. So I think that's all we can really say about Ariel. We'll see. We'll talk more about her when she actually gets released. But I think we still need to cover the the action now that we're kind of going back into that World Tournament ghetto. Let's go visit the World Tournament ghetto. Has it improved at all?
Well, that's a good question because we don't know yet. But they finally revealed the local rankings. So all of you people outside with your cardboard signs that say the end is nigh, they're banning us all, can all shut up now. Because they finally reveal what the local rankings are, and it's just a grouping of you with 100 players. It's a little 100 player pods of people.
And that's bullshit. Fucking
It's
bullshit.
fine by me. You're just mad because you're the only Dokkan player in Finland. So
Yeah.
You would have had
I
it
had
clear
the
that
fucking chance, man. There was a chance it could be local by country.
by the other.
And I could
99
dominate every fucking tournament.
The funny thing is that there would actually be 99 other Finnish players, but they would not be on your level. So they would just go like, "There is this legend of a man named Penta, and he dominates the world tournaments with different teams, and his rank always changes, but he always stays so current somehow."
the
would
Finnish
become the new
legend
one.
of Dr. Penta.
Yeah,
The new one.
a new legend is born. A Finnish one.
So anyway, it's little pods of 100 players that you will be competing against, I believe, while you're doing the regular tournament. Like, you just play the tournament and it updates your ranking in both, I think is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually not 100% sure on that, but I don't see why they would split it up. Because the rewards for the local rankings are pretty shit, to be honest. It's just a little bit of extra. I think for getting top 3, you get like a gold Hercule statue, 1 dragon stone, and some other shit. Like,
Yeah, nothing.
I hope that was just placeholder.
yeah, I guess it could be.
Because
I guess it could be.
Otherwise, that's just not worth even, like, no...
Well, the thing is, it doesn't matter if it's worth it if the mechanics don't change because you won't be doing anything differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, but,
It's just extra stuff you get while you're playing as normal.
yeah, extra 1 Dragonstone, thanks.
Hey, you say that now, but how many times have you rerolled because there's no dragon stones?
The problem is that now you're to get that 1 Dragonstone, you're playing the World Tournament that uses much more than 1 Dragonstone.
Well, this is true also, but
It's a
the
system.
mechanics of the World Tournament are different now too. So the grind might be a little bit different. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out because I believe the first one's in a few days. I think it's the 27th is the first one that they're doing this with.
That's the current what we believe. Don't
Yes,
quote us.
at the very least, that's when the leaks supposedly say it will be. It may not be. I'm not 100% sure. Which sucks, by the way, because that's also the release date of Xenoverse 2, but that's a story for another time. So there's a new system that's called the Enthusiasm system, which is basically how you pick your difficulty level. Regular difficulty will be just like the old tournaments where you just smoke through that shit with Majin Vegeta or Xenotrunks and you just blast them. But the points you get for doing that now are heavily reduced. And then every higher difficulty setting that you pick increases both the difficulty of your enemies and the amount of points you get for beating said enemies. Like, Koala actually put the stats up, and I don't remember them 100%, but it's something like plus 1,900% HP.
Yeah, and imagine that with a Mono lead or a fucking Kid Buu lead.
Yeah, it's going to be ludicrous. Like,
Yeah,
he said it would be something around 140,000 HP would be like the average per character.
And that's without a HP leader skill.
Yes, and compare that to now where it's about 10,000.
Man.
So you're looking at at much harder fights. Now that doesn't mean that it's not doable because it is, because any super attack from a unit that's worth half a shit will do way more than 140,000. But it's interesting to see how the timing and the points are going to work out. Because if you can do the hardest difficulty level, but it takes you, I don't know, 20 minutes to get all the way through the tournament,
Yeah.
or you can AoE spam a lesser difficulty level and it takes you, 5 minutes to get through the tournament, which one is going to be more valuable? So I think the point gains are going to have to be really high to make the higher difficulty levels worth it. You can make a team of like Super Vegito, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, Gogeta, etc., etc. that can easily breach whatever damage numbers that you need to kill an individual character. That's not a problem. But you're going to have to kill them all individually. I mean, that's like 7 kills, which is a lot faster than getting one AoE, or a lot slower than getting one AoE super, and the round is over.
Unless you have the mythical SA10 AoE.
Well, I mapped that out. I decided to do a little mathing and see how that would work. That's not going to work on a mono team.
Shit.
Majin Vegeta, who has a pretty good boost. He's not the strongest one. I didn't do Broly. I don't know why. But Majin Vegeta, maybe because fuck him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Majin Vegeta with a Gotenks leader at SA10 would do 148,000, which is enough to kill them without HP buff leads. So if it's someone running Turles or Gogeta, that will be enough. But if it's someone running a mono team, which I think most people will start doing, because you need the extra damage a lot.
Yeah.
It won't do that. Still won't do it.
Darn. Oh,
Which
well.
is actually an interesting conversation. It's technically not a tangent, so I'm gonna get into this.
Yeah.
I think I finally found Physical's Calling, the World Tournament.
Yeah, you're right. Because now Physical is the only team that has 2 AoEs.
Exactly. They're the only team that has multiple AoEs, and they have a lot of hard-hitting units, so they have no concern about needing anything like support. Like if you're using a monotech, you could argue to still bring that Bardock to the World Tournament, just because of what he does for everyone else.
Yeah.
If you're using a physical team, the weakest support you might have is what? Super Saiyan 2 Goku?
Yeah.
Maybe. And you might not even need that. I mean, you've got Goku Black, you've got Gotenks, you've got Saiyaman. You have all these units that have no problem breaking the HP threshold to kill. But you also have 2 different AoEs.
Yeah, you got.
And stacking 2 different AoEs is going to be a lot faster as long as that reaches whatever total that you need.
Plus, your main God Lead's ability is literally just super twice.
Yeah, kill 2 people is what his ability is. And you have the only AoE that was free farmable to SA10.
This is also true. So that might be their one calling.
Yeah, their one calling in life might be being the best team for the World Tournament. I don't know yet. We'll see.
Except they might actually get some usefulness outside of World Tournament now that we're getting, allegedly, the LR Piccolo. That should be a tank.
Well, everyone's kind of arbitrarily putting the tank label on him just because it's Piccolo.
Well, and he has fucking insane defense.
Well, he has
His
good
defense
defense, yeah.
is fucking insane.
The D on
But
that
the rest
man
of his-
is amazing.
And the rest of his stats are nightmarishly bad. His attack is like 10,000, isn't it?
Yeah. So
I think he's the first LR that's weaker than a TUR,
I mean,
or at least close. He might be like 11,000, and Super Vegito is like 10,800 or some shit.
we'll see.
But he's very close to being that weak.
I mean,
yeah.
So
18,000 max HP and 9,000 max defense.
I mean, that's good. Well, he only has
Okay.
9,000 defense. Doesn't Goku have more than that?
Might.
Goku has 10,000 defense, I think.
8k. 8.2k.
Goku?
Goku. Max level.
No, you're right. You're right. Sorry, I was doing my math wrong. You're right. Okay, so he has a little bit more than Goku. So
Uh-oh.
he may have a defensive passive. We don't know yet. I
And
hear.
his-
I didn't check his links. I hear they suck. Are those finished links?
we would hope not, but at the same time, like, they're the Piccolo links.
Oh, he has
So-
all the generic Piccolo links already in there.
Yeah, he's got Namekian. He's got
Christ.
like what we have come to expect. I think he might actually have strongest duo on Earth. Now that I think about it, he might actually have that.
Yeah. He does.
God damn
Does he
it.
have gaze of respect?
God fucking damn it.
Okay, so he's not going to synergize with physical teams at all. Fine. If he really is a tank, he may not need to,
Yeah.
because it doesn't. He's going to be weak as shit anyway. He just needs to block.
Yeah. As long as he can take the hits, then, whatever, you've earned your place.
Yeah, the links that were in Renzi's post were Respect, Genius, Strongest Duo on Earth, Z Fighters, Namekians, Strength in Unity, and Legendary Power. So
Okay,
fucking
that's the shittiest set of links I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, they didn't
No.
even give him the android courtesy of giving him a link that works well with the team, the god team, the god leader. They
Not
just-
even that. Like, holy shit, those are all like the jokey shit links they put on other characters.
I mean, they need to do a rework of some of those old links because I'm tired of cards like Majin Buu and Brapan having that fucking stupid plus 200 attack link.
It makes you wonder why they still even give them out anymore. What's the point?
Balance.
Like, I think Goku Black
we can't-
has. I think Goku Black has Calm Judgment, which is 300 attack.
So back to my theory that all they balance physical. If we gave them nothing but the good links, they would be overpowered. We can't have power creep come to physical units. So he's the defense unit,
Maybe.
but he doesn't link with anyone. Unless that teen Piccolo gets an SSR because he's a Super Strike, and then you can make him like he'll be an SSR and he could technically link with him then. But even then, like that's if you want the Namekian like healing on your side. But maybe actually he might actually, because if he's just a defense unit, I don't think like with that link skill his passive would have to be like
Incredible.
yes, like something like he has the D and then he also has healing on his side because he's a Namekian, and people like the game devs forget that Namekians can also heal themselves.
Yeah, that's the only way that he, with that link set, he would have to be very, very good.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I think the prize for this upcoming World Tournament is Piccolo. Not that Piccolo, but a Piccolo.
Also, couldn't the LR Piccolo be a Dokkan of the old physical Piccolo?
Possible, but I think
I
the
don't
prize for
want
this
it to be.
tournament is also a physical Piccolo.
Oh. And
So I'm
they were
interested
talking
to
about
see if
LR rewards in tournaments, weren't they?
they were. They did say that an LR would eventually be a tournament reward. So it's interesting to me to see if maybe this Piccolo reward will end up, because the LR Piccolo date in the leak setting thing is like November 27th. And this tournament is October 27th. So it's interesting to me if this Piccolo is a tournament reward now, and then the materials to make him an LR are rewards in the next tournament.
It will be tough because like they'd have to kind of give a thing in advance, going like, "Hey, I know it's Piccolo, and you guys probably don't want to play because that's usually how people drop off on these kind of things. But he will turn LR, so maybe get him."
And this would actually be the first legendary rare, because not everyone could get him.
Well, I think that if he is an LR through the World Tournament, they will bring him back every tournament.
They'll do like the Majub thing, where like every other couple wins, you kind of get a free LR Piccolo. Which, if that's the case, he might actually be the easiest LR to farm. Like if they do it that way.
If he's a drop like that, yeah.
If they
absolutely.
drop him specifically like that, we won't know anything. They'll be like try to balance it out. You're gonna need like 777 Bulma and Turtle medals somehow. Like they're just gonna make the cost of him crazy in some way. 'Cause that's the other thing that we probably need to factor in, is that if he's a World Tournament card, he's gonna require those Bulma and Turtle medals. And
Probably.
we do not get those at a rate which would make sense that like he would be able to Dokkan like day one or something.
Well, the more I think about it, I don't think he's going to drop like that Oob did. I think he's going to be a placement rewards, but he's going to be placement rewards in every tournament in addition to whatever card it is.
Mm.
Oh, that would make
So-
some sense.
Like top 5K, you get 2 Piccolo. So you have to keep placing consecutively in tournaments in order to get yourself to 10.
Yeah. Then if they did that, you could do the thing of like, if they drop at least 2, then you're set, because you do you farm one of them with the Tech Piccolo, get him to SA10, and then you don't use him for you use them to unlock the dupe system. So
Yeah.
that way that you'll be able to get like more out of him that way. It
Unless the tournament just gives him as an LR already.
It's
Like,
possible. I don't think they will though.
yeah, they care too much about the grind.
They love their LR grind.
They, God bless them, and they love showing all the different art as they go through. It's funny how that actually, now that I think about it, that Android art goes like through some places. Because they're like, just normal twins. Now we're on a motorcycle. Back to normal twins. Lightning in the background. Destroyed city.
Yeah, it's like hanging out, riding a motorcycle, hanging out, death of all humans. It's
Yeah.
like the last one.
And the legendary rare art is clearly future androids,
Yeah.
but the card
the
isn't
legendary rare
future
art-
androids.
I don't know, because the regular art of the SR version is their reveal artwork when they show up for the very first time.
Yeah.
It also,
But they show up for the very first time in the present.
yeah.
But the LR art is future.
Oh, clearly future.
Clearly
But it's
future.
funny because they're not called Future 17 and 18 in
Yeah.
the card names. They're just Android 17 and 18.
Eh.
Yeah. It's a weird choice of art. The only thing I wish they would have done is that they should have done the thing where SR was them there, and then the SSR art was them on a motorcycle. Chart art was them in a truck with Android 16 sleeping in the background, and then final art is them lightning background.
Well, we all know Penta loves the LR art, so we shouldn't change that.
No, never change the. There's no reason to change. That's what's
I
gonna
think
make.
Penta got the joke. I don't know if Wookie did,
Yeah,
but
I
that's
did.
enough for me.
I did. No, it's fairly obvious. Let's say when you look at that LR, but I think we've gone through everything. I mean, the thing we have to realize with the World Tournament, just to kind of put a close on that one, is that we're just gonna have to wait and see to see how we have to experience it and see how the point gains are. Because
Yeah.
what we say could be the best way, we won't know until we do it in practice. And God, I hope they get rid of the 80 wins for the SSR ticket. Put it down to 40. Put it down to something
I
manageable.
think they
but-
have to at this point because, I mean, how could you do that and do these fights that are going to take you like half an hour per win?
Unless the super fights count as like 5-1.
That could be possible. I
But-
would be fine with that.
Yeah, I would be fine with that too. But we'll see when it comes out.
Yeah. No point in theorizing beyond a reasonable limit.
Just-
Is there anything else that either of you want to talk about?
I was thinking of. I was going to mention this a long time ago. The time might be passing for it. But I totally want to do for the site, not on Halloween, but probably on the 30th, do a live stream of me playing a bunch of different horror games. But I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. If you're interested and you made it this far into the podcast, I'm assuming you are. Tell me what you think, because I have a list of spooky games that I'd like to play, and not all of them are spooky. But yeah. If you're interested, put
Is
it. In.
Hamtaro one of them?
I mean, maybe. But you're just gonna have to wait to see if Woki's spooky live stream happens.
It's going to be all Hamtaro games.
It's just gonna be Hamtaro and Wampaku Graffiti. Not even Splatterhouse. Not even going that far. The chibi one. But I'd say that's about it.
All right. Well then, thanks to everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.